is the comic.
This is Comic Burrito.
Comic Burrito.
There's no the.
I didn't say that.
You did.
Shh, edit it out.
Fine. This is Comic Burrito, a podcast. I'm Todd.
I'm Cole.
I'm Nick.
And we're going to talk about our most impactful comics to us, personally.
Yes.
Not a ranking of what we think is the most impactful comics in general, because that list would be a little redundant and honestly too obvious.
You've read it every time.
Yes.
Just go on the internet and look it up.
But we're going to talk about the ones that are our top 4. Apparently, the 4 is the number that we came to.
Top 4 is fair.
It seems
with an honorable mention.
Silly.
It's less than 7.
It's top 3 with an honorable mention.
Yeah.
But we're not going to rank them, so you won't know which one our honorable mention is. We're just going to say 4 that are the ones. If you want to rank ours for us, you can throw it in the comments, but we ourselves are not going to put them in any specific order. We are just going to talk about our top 4. And I believe Cole volunteered himself for tribute, so he is going to go first.
So I think that this is a book that I have not released to the other guys yet.
It's a book.
Well, it's a comic, but this was the first comic I ever got.
The first comic you ever got.
And I remember going in and getting it, and it is Ren and Stimpy, the comic book. Marvel released it.
Yeah.
If you don't remember, there's a pretty iconic cover, Powdered Toast Man versus Spider-Man. And I remember loving Spider-Man, loving Powdered Toast Man. And I was like, I need to get this. I remember we were going on like a spring break, and my mom was like, get yourself some comic books. And I saw that, and I was like, this is what I need to read. And this is the first book that I ever got.
Do you own this?
No, I do not. I was really excited.
I know. Cole had said beforehand that Todd probably hasn't heard of it.
I know of this.
Okay.
Yeah. He was all like, you might not even know.
Well, you might not. It's
But I was really hoping that it'd be like, I was really hoping for a cut.
I was waiting for you to go grab it out of your
and
boxes.
then bring it.
Yeah, I was
No,
going,
please. I do not own this, but I do know of what you speak of, and that's, yes, your first comic ever.
Yeah,
And I remember it was that.
That's amazing.
And then I think I bought some like Dragon Ball ones because that's what I was into as like
manga.
7th grade Cole.
Yeah.
wow.
Or,
Yeah. Nick.
I will go. It's so hard for me to narrow
It's
down.
already done.
Yeah.
I have this list that's several. I will settle for Court of Owls, Snyder Batman. It was one of the first trades that I bought that started the slow decline into buying of comics.
Is that a decline?
I mean,
If you ask his wife, it's a decline.
in terms of avalanche and snowball getting bigger, this would be the small little snowflake that landed on the hill that started the avalanche of comics.
Yeah.
It was the first time that I thought that Batman could be different than just like Joker, Two-Face kind of stuff, and that Batman still had a fresh future ahead of him, and that it wasn't going to just be rehash of the same whatever rogues gallery that we had, as extensive and wonderful as it is. It was still like, hey, we can still do new stuff.
Here's something new.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
definitely that.
I'm a huge fan.
Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo.
Yeah. I'll get this one out of the way because they even mentioned it, but it's not quite, because there was an assumption that I was going to say Blackest Night, and I will not say Blackest Night.
Whoa.
I'm going to say the entire New 52 Green Lantern run.
Okay.
It was
Is that-
incredibly
is
impactful. It's
Blackest
Jeff
Night
Johns. Blackest Night is
part of
in
it?
that.
Okay.
But if I have to narrow it down, I honestly would say the whole New 52 Lantern Pantheon, because Jeff Johns didn't only usher in like a new era for Green Lantern. There was Larfleeze and Sinestro and Red Lanterns and Green Lantern Corps and Green Lantern New Guardians, and it sprouted this renaissance of Green Lantern that is now back to being relegated to just a Green Lantern title again, along with Far Sector. I get that there is another one, but that's not even like an ongoing series. This was consistent, ongoing things. And that I always felt really strange because ever since Volume 3, I have been a very big Green Lantern fan. New 52 Volume 4 and what happened all of a sudden made my guy matter. And that meant a lot. All of a sudden, instead of him being like this ancillary character on the outside that I had to latch on to any little scraps that were thrown Green Lantern's way, Green Lantern was all of a sudden this central piece, and then it got to really be the central piece for an entire like crisis that happened across the entire DC universe. Huge deal, incredibly impactful, made me like so much more excited about being a Green Lantern fan. It makes it so I can wear the shirt, have the tattoo, do the whole thing, and be like, you know what? Screw you. I have legit like reasons behind why I love this, and it really reinvigorated because before New 52, I was cooling on it. I was just like, I love it so much. I just want it to be really good. And then Jeff Johns takes the helm, and I'm just like, yes, we are back. We are in it. This is a thing, and we are the center of like a universe. That is incredible. So easily Jeff Johns' New 52 Green Lantern run, incredibly impactful because I adore it, and it's still in my comic book. They will never leave my comic book storage. It is forever there because it's something I consistently go back and read. It was 15 years, 20 years into my like comic book reading, and it hit me so hard. I was so excited, and it made me excited to be a Green Lantern fan again, and that's huge. That's enormous, and it's similar to how I felt about Batman. I really loved Batman, but it was starting to cool on it, and then all of a sudden Court of Owls happens, and it's like, oh, we can do this again. It can be really fun and new and exciting again. Yeah. And the New 52 did so much for comics, and
it did.
These are, honestly, Court of Owls would be on my short list in terms of really, like, things. It's not on this short list, but... Hi!
There's a puppy.
Yeah, we got a dog.
Oh, yeah, and this is, if you didn't see previous episodes, I got a new rescue dog that has severe separation anxiety, so we have a little,
mascot.
We got a little mascot. Her name's Bella. And
Who's
she's
the
adorable.
lantern on that? Is it the same throughout?
In terms of Green Lantern,
yeah,
it is Hal.
Okay.
And then new Green Lantern's New Guardians is Kyle.
Okay.
And then Green Lantern Corps has John Stewart and Guy Gardner in it.
Oh,
and then
awesome.
Guy Gardner goes into Red Lanterns at a certain point. And then
it's all the things.
It's all the things. They all are existing at the same time, and
awesome.
It's amazing, and it makes me so happy because it's not like, oh, we have Hal in this one, and oh, John's over in the Justice League over here. It's like, no, they're all stars in like an actual run of comic books. It's huge, and Jeff Johns is the epicenter to all of that happening. And if it wasn't for Jeff Johns, the modern Green Lantern wouldn't exist, and I will love him forever for it. And he can do no wrong except when he does wrong. But he doesn't, because he doesn't do wrong. So that's my number one. If I really had to rank it, that's probably pretty close. But we're not ranking them, so it doesn't matter.
That could be your number 4.
Yes,
but
it could be.
It's not his number 4. It's obviously not his number 4. 1 or 2. Probably one. It's probably one.
So my next will be Saga.
What?
It
You
is-
like Saga?
It is quite possible.
Sorry, yeah, we were supposed to...
This is a book that is not even finished yet.
I just
but
deleted Saga.
I
off my
like
list
this
of
book
stuff
so
that
much.
I'm trying to narrow down. I'm just saying.
I like this book so much that I named my daughter after it. I made a sneaky one on my
His
wife.
daughter's name's Saga.
Her name's Hazel, who is technically the main character of the book. Whatever you want. My wife also wanted to name our daughter Elena, and I guess
he
it
named
can
his
kind of be
daughter
pronounced
Gus
Alana. But either way, it's a great book. It's Brian K. Vaughan. It's a
really
space
good.
opera.
Yeah,
I guess is what you
for
would
sure.
call it.
It's Romeo and Juliet.
It
in
is the
space
best book in the last 10
and
years. I think.
Star
Fiona,
Wars.
who's
Fiona Staple.
There it is. Yeah.
Brian K. Vaughan.
She's,
And
Fiona
both of
Staples
those-
has a lot of reason why it's so great.
Yeah, the art is fantastic.
It's very good.
I got tricked into
phenomenal.
buying a book that she made a cover for, thinking she made art for, and she didn't. And the art was
Sucker.
terrible, and I got so upset about it. But anyway,
Someone in the comments to let us know if you can deduce what book that is. That'd be hilarious.
right. But the thing about it is it's a great story. It's not even finished
not.
yet. And I mean, we've been on what?
You're half done.
almost a 2-year hiatus.
So you're putting a book that is half done in your top 4.
It's so.
I'm not saying you're
What if
wrong.
it's just blank pages for the next?
It's impactful for me.
54. Is still there?
I'm still harding.
I mean, if the next half is terrible, you could always take it out.
I mean, I could, but like I
You probably
also
won't.
name my
Probably
daughter after a
You
character,
probably-
so I
yeah,
probably
if you
can. It's there forever.
there.
You can change your name. It's not.
Yeah. Whatever.
You'd be like, I don't like this. They could turn Hazel into like some evil
Gus Gus?
assassin.
That might be cool.
It might be
I
cool.
mean, a lot of people are naming their
I
kids
might
Arya.
rename my daughter Hazel.
Yeah.
If they do that.
It's already named Arya, so it's kind of a weird
There we go.
mix. She's not actually.
I like it. I like it. It's a good
I
pick.
think.
It's a good pick. It's
Yeah.
a good book.
It is a very good book.
good
There's no denying especially the impact that it can do for the casual audience and what it has done for just like recognizing that comics are a legitimate medium
Yeah.
to enjoy and that it's not some kids thing.
Yeah.
Just
great.
like movies, every once in a while something new comes along and
And
it's
this is that.
refreshing and it's good.
Yep.
And it's just great to have.
And it pushes the industry towards
Yeah.
a new mark.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I tried to get my brother to read this book, who's not really into comics, but I gave it to him. He did a quick, like, flip through on the art and saw penis and was like, why are you giving me a book with a penis in it?
Dick book. Gross.
And I was like,
Yeah.
well, okay.
People are going to be like that, and that's okay.
And that's the thing that's there.
There's
If you
penises in
don't
Game of
want to
Thrones.
see-
Shut
yeah,
up.
if you don't,
Are there
if
actually?
you,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
there is.
Yeah.
So if you can watch Game of Thrones, you can read Saga.
Yeah, Jesus.
It's fine.
Calm down.
It's
Oh my god.
It's fine.
If you are somebody who's probably like disgusted by that, you probably have one attached to you and you can get the fuck over it. You see one on the daily.
and you're
Calm down.
And you're probably not reading comics.
No.
You're probably not.
You're probably
maybe you. If you are, then you're just young.
Yep.
And then you shouldn't read Saga. If
that
you're young.
story and
'Cause
the
it's for
art
adults.
and everything
It is for-
is
It's a
Adults,
mature
yeah.
book.
It is an adult
and it's a great book.
yeah, it is. It's
I like it.
That's
It's a good pick.
that's less surprising than Ren and Stimpy. So
It would probably be in my top 10. It does. It just moments before you said Saga. Dropped
That's really hard on top
dropped from my top 4. Just moments before.
impactful is hard. You guys started comics
I
later
found
than me.
I found like 4 indie books, and then it was like, all right, I'll buy Saga.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had already like popped that cherry of this isn't a superhero book anymore.
Yeah, it's just different because you guys got
It's
into
very
comics at a later stage.
Yeah, and that.
So like Saga was really awesome to me, and it's a fantastic book, and I would definitely put it on my like top 100 books of all time. Easy. That's an easy
would it
choice.
be in your top 20?
No.
Really?
No, it
Interesting.
just
Wow.
isn't because
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's not done
just-
either.
It's not done. Like at this point, with how
So it could
much
be,
I've read,
but sure.
maybe
Yeah.
it could. But like a half-done book, no.
If they were
You
to
can't sit
announce
there.
tomorrow, like, we're not going to do anymore,
I
then it
I would be like top 100.
Okay.
And that would be cool. And that's great. I'm sorry, I've read a shit ton. It's
I
not my
probably
fault.
haven't read enough to bump it out of top 20.
like it's just a lot. So,
Yeah.
but Saga's amazing, and I completely understand it being impactful, especially to someone who's been seriously reading in the last few years. That's a big deal. It's a
Yeah.
huge book, and it's
What did
amazing.
you pull? Did you pull it?
No.
When did you start?
Oh,
reading?
are you trades?
Well,
Nice.
no, I own all these.
Oh, you
single
went back
copies.
and got it. Nice.
Yeah. Well, I have first print of everything except the first issue. I have a 5th print, and that's like my
Fifth?
weird like.
Fifth.
That's my weird like.
What are you, a poor? What?
I won
Wow.
some money.
I
for
only
sports
have
betting,
paperbacks.
and I
I have
almost
the
bought.
cheapest Saga you could get.
I almost took my like $300 that my wife told me that I could spend on stuff and bought that first
Just
issue
into that.
just to have it.
Amazing.
Because I could have gotten a 9.8 graded.
Good for you.
Not that I even need that.
He didn't do
not,
it.
not for me. No, I know. That's what I'm saying is good for you.
Oh, it did not do it. Impressive willpower. Good
Yes,
job.
good job.
So Saga, solid
Nick,
choice.
where are you
Easy.
at?
Nick. Number 2 that's not ranked.
Yeah.
I will go Descender. I have Middle West and Descender both as my indie picks, and I'm gonna lean Descender only for the art. I think is just that little bit more for me. And and Middle West isn't done either. So same thing with Saga. Could eventually overtake Descender. I guess Descender's not technically over with
Descender is.
But Descender
is. But Descender.
And I would say
my
those are very
introduction,
different books.
Early introduction into indie comics and early introduction into Jeff Lemire.
Lemire.
I say Lemire. It sounds fancier, like movie or film. Lemire.
Yeah. One of those.
I'm gonna go Descender just for that.
Nice.
And because it makes robots so human.
Nice.
Oh well, and that's the thing. Like when you guys asked me that, I legitimately
call
said,
back.
He's got weird.
Or call forward.
He's got weird.
It's foreshadowing. It's foreshadowing or callbacking.
What makes what's it so
Is it the art of
impactful
the
about
story?
it? What impacts you? Why is it impactful? Why is it not just favorite? Why is it impactful?
I don't know. It like I said, it just story wise, it was just really enjoyable as something different and unique. And maybe it isn't robot AI stuff. Like maybe it's not a totally new idea, but I just felt the way that it went through. With the watercolor and just everything for me at that time was different than everything else that I'd ever seen.
And that's what's important. It doesn't matter if it's happened before, but for you, that's a new.
I even told you when you started reading it, I was like, I'm gonna reread it and like watch me hate it. Right? Like watch me reread it and go like, what was I thinking?
What was this?
I don't think that'll happen.
No,
It can't, but it won't.
And for Lemire and all the books, I mean, I read Essex County recently and really loved it. Gideon Falls is one of my favorites, and all the other books that he's written. But I'd probably give my edge to Descender just because it was early.
Awesome. I think it's well
that.
deserved. It's great. I think it's just like Saga. It's something that's really impressive. I don't think Descender obviously did not get the pop and the buzz and everything that Saga got. But I think in terms of quality and the art and the story that they're bringing to it, I would put those on the same level. Whether or not the culture and mass media wants to put them on the same level, they won't, because Saga is just on this other level
It's
to
a train,
the thing.
Yeah,
that's
it's
fine.
just-
Descender, I think,
know.
is
It's
right up there with it because it
Yeah.
is really fantastic and it's really amazing. So I think that's a great pick. I'm going to go a little bit more old school with my second pick, Nightfall. It was the first Batman that I ever read. It was in a shoebox. Apart from everything else my dad had, I remember going up into the attic and being pointed out where all the comics are, and it was this lone shoebox along with like tubs of everything, and then there was just this shoebox all on its own filled with comics. I'm like, well, that's a good place to start because I'm like intimidated by all the large boxes and everything. And little did I know, I was grabbing a shoebox full of core Nightfall in it, and I remember the top comic on it being the cover with Bane breaking Batman over his back, and that is my literal introduction into Batman. Yeah,
iconic cover.
Yes.
Put it
as iconic cover as it is. Huge splash screen. It is Bane breaking the bat, and that was the first introduction to Batman in the comics that I ever had. I had seen the animated series at that point, and I had seen Adam West Batman at that point, but I hadn't read any comics. And Nightfall, oh my god. Like, I was 7 or 8? I was too young to be reading Nightfall, to be perfectly honest.
Or you were just the
Or I was just the right age.
Just the right age.
But I was given free reign to the only thing my dad and I ever had in common was a love for comics. And that was the first thing that I picked up, and it was the first thing that I read of anything outside of like these, because you're just a kid, you're picking random comics, you're not pulling runs, you don't have a pull list, you don't do anything. It's the first thing that I ever read from like series beginning arc wise to the end of the arc with Azrael and all of this, and it just like blew my little brain.
Holy shit!
It was essentially because
great.
I didn't have any preconceptions. I didn't have anything going into it, and I got to see the struggle of this like I don't know, monolithic guy, because Batman is the guy. There's nothing that can ever like beat him. And my first introduction to this guy that just can't be beaten is him being broken to shit. And it was amazing, and I loved it. Getting to see like the beginning where he's just kicking ass to the end where he's having to like rebuild himself. Incredible. And I will forever and always appreciate that run because it gave me a sense of how a hero is a hero. A hero isn't somebody who just like can do everything. It's somebody who fights constantly. And I will measure everything against that. Because anytime I watch a movie or read a story and it's just like, I did this and I did this and I overcame this and overcame this, but there's no like hardship along the way, I'm just like, well, this is fucking boring. Where's your broken back, you asshat? And
you see the adversity.
Is Nightfall like an anti-Mary Sue?
Yes. Yes, it is.
You know? Like it's like, instead of everything going right, just everything goes wrong.
It really is everything going wrong because he's just
but he still perseveres.
Yeah, he perseveres because it's all about how Bane in the background is making Gotham work against him and he is running himself ragged.
It's true.
And do you guys know the...
I've not read it yet, so...
Are you worried about spoilers for Nightfall?
Well, you're going to make me read it at one point.
I own it.
You're going to make me read it at some point. But I assume maybe next time that we meet
But
again.
you know that Bane breaks his back.
Yeah, I know
My children have read it.
And
it's appropriate. Right?
Yes.
For
sure.
It's okay for...
well, he read it at
The whole idea is that maybe right off the bat, Bane could have beat him, but Bane is smart and knows that Batman is so great that he puts all of these blocks in front of him before he confronts Batman.
I mean, Bane is supposed to be the physical match.
Yeah.
For Bruce Wayne.
Well, he's more than a physical match, and then
better.
he's almost the intellectual match.
Yes.
Which is always taken out.
Arr!
That's always taken out of everything else, which I love because in Nightfall, Bane is basically his equal intellectually, but he knows that Batman is to be feared in a fight. Even though he has the strength advantage, he knows like going head on against Bruce Wayne is like flipping a coin. It's not something that is like designed. Even though everybody else he could face, he would just break it. It wouldn't be a thing. He's like, he's smart enough to know you don't fuck with Batman at his full strength. And I love that. And it's so much depth to something that it didn't need to be. I love it. So, yes, Nightfall, most impactful. Same way Ren and Stimpy is impactful to you. This is like my first comic, essentially. The first one that I can remember is Nightfall, and it will always resonate with me because it's such a big deal.
The funny thing is you mentioned reading all the issues. Like, I have a lot of, like, I have like 4 issues of Ren and Stimpy that I bought as a kid, but they're just all like not in order,
scattershotted.
like scattered.
Yeah.
Like I definitely have that Powdered Toast Man. I have one that's like, which one's the dog? Stimpy? He like comes in and it's just like he's a detective or something, and it's like I know that.
And that's the one.
Yeah, you know that was the first one. I
you didn't have a pull list.
Yeah, I was just like,
you're not pulling all of Ren and Stimpy.
I was like, you want to read? Here's comic books. Maybe you'll like these. And I was like, I like pictures and Ren and Stimpy. That's sweet.
Yeah.
But let's move on to my next one.